on the front. Are you okay? That was a big one. Confirm you're okay, please. Side pods have taken damage. You might start to pick... Okay, we don't think we're far away from rain now. I'll keep you updated as conditions change. Okay, we've only got one lap of fuel remaining. Light rain will stay with us for at least 20 minutes, maybe more. Light rain is here to stay. Track's pretty empty right now, lots of space. Okay, we'll alter the setup of the car. Fastest lap so far, well done. Okay, we've only got one lap of fuel remaining. The car settings screen on your multifunction display will allow you to change various settings as you drive. Open the display with the MFD button and you can then navigate up and down to the setting you want to change. Okay. And that's just 30 seconds left in the session.
With qualifying finished, it's time to remind ourselves of our top three: Verstappen, King and Sergio Perez. With qualifying wrapped up, we now have our grid line up for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race. Welcome to today's sprint. This is shaping up to be another fantastic weekend. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday and he'll start from pole position. And King completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Leclerc, Carlos Sainz and Hamilton, Russell, Norris, Fernando Alonso and Esteban Ocon, Gasly, Magnussen, Valtteri Bottas and Joe, Ricciardo, Albon, Yuki Tsunoda and Sebastian Vettel, Stroll and Nicholas Latifi. And with preparations almost complete, let's head trackside for today's sprint.
Okay, this is our Engine Supply's home Grand Prix, so let's give them a race worth watching. Okay, how was that pull away? You'll have a bit more grip than that on the start, but we need to warm Warm the tyres properly now. Make sure you get some heat into the brakes as well. Conditions look stable at the moment, no rain currently expected. Decent parking. Let's try and get a good launch as the lights go out. Okay, so that's the rest of the grid forming up now. Be patient and watch for those lights. DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. You've lost some time to the car behind. expect to see some rain about 10 to 15 minutes from now. Okay, that's us with 5 laps of fuel remaining, 5 laps of fuel left. Green flag. Okay, be aware, the grip levels are going to start falling away soon. Watch out for the car behind, they're only 2 seconds down on you and might try and overtake if you make a mistake. Stay focused. I'm afraid Kevin's dropped out of the race. Caution, caution. Okay, we've got 4 laps of fuel remaining. Okay, we're monitoring some wear on the internal combustion engine. Be aware that we're going to start to see a loss of power. We've only got 2 laps of fuel left. Okay, this is your final lap of the race. Top job, my friend, top job. I was a bit worried about this one at the start of the weekend, but you pulled through. Thank you very much.
So let's have a look then at the drivers' standings. Carlos Sainz extends his lead at the top, getting ever closer to securing the championship. It's time to check out the constructors' standings. It was a tough race for our championship leaders, who lose ground at the top of the table. Another team that excelled today was Williams, who make further progress up the table. With the sprint wrapped up, we now have our grid line-up for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race. Hello there and welcome back to Imola, home circuit of the Scuderia Ferrari. We expect to see a lot of local supporters in red today. They've all turned out for what we have every expectation will be a sensational event here at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. A lap of Imola, anti-clockwise of course, unlike most Formula One circuits, will take our drivers round 3.1 miles of track. 19 turns, 9 right-handers and 10 left. Drivers will need to be precise at the hairpin turn 7, given the subsequent uphill section. Without a good exit from that corner, they'll lose a lot of time on that stretch. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. An immense lap from Carlos Sainz yesterday puts him in pole position, and King completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Hamilton, Charles Leclerc and Norris, Russell, Ocon, Ricciardo and Max Verstappen, Gasly, Bottas, Guan Yu Zhou and Stroll, Fernando Alonso, they've taken a grid penalty, Latifi, Yuki Tsunoda and Alex Albon, Vettel and Kevin Magnussen fills the last spot on the grid. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. Anthony Davidson, a very warm welcome to you as you join me in the commentary box for today's event. Now, can I get your take on Max Verstappen? Looks as if they have a tough race in store today, as grid penalties from changing power unit components has forced them further down the grid.
But on the bright side, at least those fresh components can help them maintain the power they need to come through the pack. I expect to see them take a more aggressive approach today to make up for the compromised start.
Okay, this is our engine supplier's home Grand Prix, so let's give them a race worth watching. Okay, so everything looks good on the power unit cycles, so let's concentrate on bringing tyres and brakes up to temperature. Okay, so not an ideal parking spot, but let's try and get a good look. No rain expected, no rain expected for the time being. Okay, not the best. Okay, incredible parking there, nice one. That's going to give you the edge if you can get good launch as the race starts. Keep an eye on the lights, the start sequence will begin as soon as the grid is formed. Be ready with the clutch. Okay, we're monitoring some wear on the internal combustion engine. Be aware that we're going to start to see a loss of power. Alright, let's focus now for the rest of the race. That looked bad. Are you alright? Let me know you're okay.
What up?
PUBG.
Not nothing. Not nothing. Trying to get this wheel to
Not
stick.
nothing, huh?
Not nothing. Not nothing. Double pronoun, I think, is what it was.
Not pronounced, but yeah.
Yeah, whatever. That English thing. Alright, let's get back in here.
Okay. Gotta turn that shit down.
Oh.
I think the volume has to like be up a little or it doesn't count though. Bro, they gave a full-time job that they knew I wanted, an MST guy. They don't even technically work for the company, right?
Oh yeah, are you still at that place where you was working thirds and stuff, Lowe's or whatever?
Yeah, but I ain't working nights no more. They put me back on days. But it's like, okay, so yesterday, my supervisor came in and was like, alright, so we got you 26 hours next week. You know, that's not great, but it's more than 4, which is what I was being scheduled.
Exactly.
And basically, like, making up my own hours as I went. And so they fired Greg, and I was like, okay, I mean, that sucks. Greg's a cool guy. He was a hard worker. I'm honestly surprised they did that. But I wanted a full-time position that was open in receiving, which I'm familiar with. I know everybody. I know all the vendors. I know all the scheduling. I know the job, right? And so they could have just hired me same day. Interview could have been a formality. Application could have been a formality. But they hired an MST guys.
Yeah.
Now they got to train him. He doesn't know what goes on back there. Just because he comes back there occasionally doesn't mean he knows what goes on back there.
Right.
He doesn't know the system like I do. He doesn't know the schedules like I do. He doesn't talk to the vendors. He doesn't know the returning customers. I know all this stuff. I'm a hard worker. I sweat, and I talk to the store manager. I need hours. I'm an adult. I have bills. I got rent.
I feel that.
And it's like this month I turned 31.
Yeah, nice.
And they literally kept me part-time so that I could keep moving heavy all day. Nah.
You got me on that one. Yeah,
y'all had the open spot. Y'all could have hired some high school kid to do what I do, and I could have been their boss, and everything would have been great. But instead, you wanna put on the quiet, mousy guy. I ain't gonna say he's good people. Like I ain't mad at him.
You're just mad at the
It's not his fault that he applied for a job that never even posted.
Yeah.
So I got people saying sideways shit like you didn't apply for it. It's like, well, first of all, they didn't post it. Second of all, I shouldn't have had to apply to it. Like before they ever posted it, if they posted it, they should have at least gave me an opportunity to turn it down. And maybe that's just me like feeling privileged or whatever, but I also know that's how companies work. When they like you and they want you to stay and you work hard, they incentivize you to stay.
They give you incentives.
So what they're telling me is they don't care if I stay or go.
Hit the road.
So I'm gonna go.
Don't go. No more. Oh.
Well, it's like there's some people who say I have like an attitude, right? And it's like you gotta ask yourself.
Yeah.
You gotta ask yourself, why do I have that attitude? Because I'm not just mad for no reason. I'm mad because they cut my hours. I'm mad because they won't put me on a schedule. I'm mad because every time an opportunity pops up and I jump at it, they give it to somebody else. So you could say I have a bad attitude, but I mean, when
just a wee bit. But yeah, it's understandable.
I came in here. Well, I came in as part-time, working full-time hours. They cut my hours. Okay, whatever. I'm part-time anyways. Then they cut my hours again.
Yeah, I remember that.
No, it's not okay. It's not okay. And then they cut my hours again and again, and I'm still there, and I still work hard, and I still sweat. They had me doing 40 hours of work and 4 hours a week.
That's
literally one day a week. I was there for 4 hours, and they want me to top stock all the appliances and push all this freight and work out these trucks and kill myself for them.
Jack.
For what, $200 a week?
Right.
Man, I could make that in an hour. Selling drugs, man. Keep me off the street.
That's funny. Someone else said that the other day I was talking to. They was like, man, I could make more money selling drugs. I was like, man, that's just sad that... It's just sad.
It is what it is, man.
Shoot, I brake too much there. I could have passed both of them.
I mean, I've been distracting you. You had a really bad start this race.
Are you jumping this rainbow?
They had a bucket with holes in the bottom of it. They were putting it in.
Do you know where that is my question. Don't have the slightest clue. You haven't seen it in the yard.
Maybe somewhere in the backyard, probably. I know. That's a dad question. He's the one that... Because he just had a rainbow the other day, so he had to use that bucket, right?
You used the rainbow the other day?
Yeah. Well, like a week ago, but yeah.
Ah!
More recently than I use it.
Man.
But yeah, bro, that's how it's been.
Yeah, I've been the same, bro. I've been busting my ass up at Thornton's and stuff.
But they like you.
Yeah, they do. I'm also like, I'm like you. I don't have no attitude. I got an attitude toward a few things. It's mostly just people's, well, I'm not going to do it because he's not going to do it. Well, that's where it starts. It starts right there. If you say that, you know, someone has to be the one to break that chain. So I've been going in there, and everyone's like, oh, yeah, no one else does it, so I'm not going to do it. And I go over there and straight do it, bro.
Yeah, that's me. I'm the yes man. That's what I'm saying. But see, here's the problem with people who actually are good at their job and they work hard, right? They don't want to move you up.
No, because then
it's so hard to find somebody who actually will do that job. Yeah.
Luckily for me, I'm just a cashier, so...
Well, there's that. No, if I was working cashier, I probably wouldn't care so much because my job's easy. But no, I'm sweating.
Yeah, you're doing a lot more.
I came to work all week last week.
Dude, I sweat when I freaking mop the floor. Apparently, no one has ever mopped the floor like I do. I was like, I'm supposed to mop it every night when I'm working, so I mop it every night when I'm working.
That's what, you know, when I was at Walgreens, I used to have to sweep and mop at night. But that wasn't even a big issue. I just like threw in my headphones, started jamming out. Cute cashiers make fun of me because I'm over there in the back aisles, like singing "Eye of the Tiger" and shit.
Dang it!
So you listen to that old people shit. So I am old people.
What you mean? What you mean, Willis?
What you talking about, Willis?
I played my first race on full on here. It was very.
Yeah, I saw you park. It was a very nice parking, sir.
Yeah, that's the formulating lab, that's the starting and shit. Rick and I did a race yesterday for the first time. I played with Rick yesterday for the first time in like 2 weeks. Last time I talked to you guys, last time I talked to you guys was the last time I talked to him as well.
He's getting boats and hoes, man. He wasn't worried about it.
I seen that. He told me. Yeah, I ended up picking up this T80 through GameStop because it was on sale for $50.
Oh, you got it. You finally got your wheel.
Not the one I want.
Whatever. You got a wheel.
Yeah, it at least gives me the ideal of using the wheel and how sensitive it is and the pedals and stuff. But it has no force feedback. So if you get one, like I might sell this one to either you or Rick or whoever wants it after I get my next one. But I think it's just worth the extra $100 to freaking just get the one with force feedback. Logitech is the cheapest one with force feedback, but I'm not getting that one.
I was gonna say Logitech is like,
it's like the big brand, Logitech, and then
it's like the cheap big brand.
Yeah,
right?
It's a cheap big brand.
It's your I wouldn't say off brand, but it's your off brand.
Yeah. So, but I'm gonna get the Thrustmaster one. I already talked to Amanda. Oh, I lost the gear. I lost something. Yeah,
I'm still trying to get you on the Genshin Impact. Me and Pro was playing it last night. Got like a bunch of like level 90s came in, started rushing him through his story.
That's funny.
And then I finally, apparently I was one mission away from being able to do co-op stuff, so I went ahead and knocked that out. I hopped in there. He's just being run around the map. This person's playing as like a little, it's like they look like a child, but they got like cat ears, you know, little Nico, whatever they call them. And yeah, so he's just following this little cat around, taking him to all these different chests, dealing like 20k damage in attack. We're just like, okay, like the highest numbers I put up's like 500, so. Right. And I'm a little bit further than he is, so he's putting up even lower numbers. He's getting like 2-shot by mobs, mini bosses.
Oh, that gear change is gonna fuck my engine up.
He was like in a part of the map I've never even been to. I'm like 20 hours further into the game than he is. He's like, yeah, nah, bro, I just went around that. I walked up there, and they're like, yeah, if you're not near fire, you get hurt. Because it's like an icy mountain. I was like, yeah, fuck that. I ain't doing that till later. Maybe I'll find some, like, insulated clothes or something. Nope. That shit doesn't exist.
Oh my.
I'm sure there's something in the game I haven't found that helps with it, but...
Right, I feel it.
But it's just another MMORPG for you to, like, waste your whole life on. I'm sure
waste my life like I did on Elden Ring, 200 hours.
I was about to say you'd probably rather just play ESO, but if, you know, it's not first person, there's that. And the character swapping's pretty cool. I don't know, I like it. It's visually appealing to me, because it's like playing an anime.
Right. Oh yeah, I'll have to check it out.
It's free.
I know.
You can get on mobile, too. I actually started on mobile, but my phone was crap and it kept lagging. I saw it was free on console. I was like, oh, upgrade. Because I'm talking to you.
No, it's not because of that. Amanda sits there and talks to me the whole time while I'm racing, bro. And she's way louder than you are.
I know this map. I'm good at this map. Are you in Italy?
Yeah, Imola or whatever. However.
Yeah, that's my map. It's crazy how I just knew that.
Yeah. This is the Haas career I got going on, and then I have my own career too, but I'm in Australia there. I had to restart a new career because the last update kind of like messed up some of my things on my career, and so...
I was just listening to the song she bumping right in my car.
I don't have Gear 2. Gear 2's gone.
Who needs it? Gear 2's for the week.
As long as you can keep it in the third
You're
gear.
in 2. What do you mean?
Well, did he go to 2? Did they get fixed? Because
Yeah,
it was fucking. It was skipping it. It was skipping down to 1.
You slowed down for that.
So
you took that turn in 2. See, yeah, you took your turns in 2.
Okay, they fixed. It got fixed then. But
there you go. So you good now?
I'm good now. Yeah.
Get that out of your head.
Yeah, it's
It'll
gone.
be fine. Yeah, I don't know, man. I've been, ever since they gave me the bad news, I've just been bumping like gangster rap, chain smoking cigarettes out in the parking lot before work.
Damn.
Got all the old white folk with money looking at me sideways. Got all the little gangbangers that show up here looking at me like, wait, he's white though.
Oh wait, no wait, he didn't just say what I think he did he?
I didn't. I don't say it. I actually had my friend I work with, he's black, his name's Jonathan. I was like, give me your honest opinion. If a white person's singing like a rap song and it has the N-word in it, right? Are you more upset if they say it, or are you more upset if they don't and it ruins the song for you?
That's a funny question,
honestly,
bro.
Well, I mean, because it's legit. That's like a question I've heard asked a lot of times.
Right.
And I myself, like, have been singing with like a black person in my car. I've been singing along with it with some shit, and like every time the N-word comes, I bleep myself. Right? And they're just like, bro, if you're gonna sing it, just say it. Like, and I'm just like, then I won't sing it because you're in my car, and I feel like that's disrespectful.
I just don't say that word at all most of the time.
I mean, I feel like even people who don't verbalize it still say it, right, in their head.
Yeah, in my head.
Everybody,
stuff, yeah. I feel that.
Everybody, and this is probably going to be a controversial statement, but I'm saying it, not you, right? Everybody is a little bit racist.
Yeah.
And they can sit here and say, no, I don't see color, and then somebody of color will tell you that statement is racist. How are you going to sit here and say you don't see it? Because to them, that's like saying you don't see the struggle they go through because of it.
Right.
And it's like, that's not what it means. When somebody says they don't see color, it means they're not judging you based on your color. They're not saying they don't see your struggle because of it. But, you know, people got to take shit personal, I guess, you know. And I mean, it is kind of a personal subject, but I feel like there's a lot of controversy around it that doesn't need to be, because in my opinion, and this is again is just my opinion as, you know, a white person with privilege,
it don't matter.
right? But my opinion is we're not divided by race as much as people seem to think we really are. And I'm gonna leave it as they, you can fill in whatever you want to as that, right? They don't care about what color of skin you are. They care about how much money they can get from you. The only color they care about is green. Right? And so they want to keep the working class as the working class, right? Because you make them money. They don't want you to succeed. They don't care what color your skin is. And I'll tell you that.
As long as I can play my video games, I can give a fuck less what they want me to do.
If they cared about that, they wouldn't have hired my friend. And we're good friends. They hired Jonathan for a full-time position I wanted. Now, he didn't get it because he broke company policy early on. He wasn't, like, clocking out for lunch, and they caught him on camera, like, sitting down. I guess that's a problem when you're waiting for work to do, but they caught him sitting down. He wasn't clocking out for lunch. He was doing stuff he wasn't supposed to do, right? And so they stopped training him for that position and basically just made him a part-time associate like I am. Gotcha. Now, I don't believe they ever communicated that with him. I don't know what they communicated with him. But, okay, so if color mattered, right, as a white guy who works hard, if it mattered to the people in control, I would have gotten that promotion, right? And they would have hired him in because he's black, right? So he shouldn't make as much money, is the thought process, right, that a lot of people have.
Right.
But it's just inherently untrue. They don't care. They don't care. I'm not going to say nobody does, because there's racist pieces of shit everywhere. But
everywhere.
When it comes to, we'll just keep it professional discrimination. They don't care. They don't care. They want everybody to work. They want everybody to stay sick. They want everybody to be stupid because it's easier to control you. And the more they can get you to divide yourselves by the color of your skin, yeah, the more easy you are to control. You're divided. And if we were all just one people, right, like it's meant to be, is that not what we were like taught as Americans, right?
Period.
One nation under God, one people, one power,
even
unity, all that bullshit they told us to enslave us, because that's what we are. We're all slaves to it now. And, you know, that word rings harder for a lot of people than it probably does for me, but that's how I look at it, because they're keeping you down, right? They're giving you just enough to get by so that you have to keep working for them. That's slavery. They give you enough to stay alive so that you can keep working. And that's it. That's all you get. So it's really up to us to, like, find a niche, right? We have to break out and take a gigantic risk in most cases, right? You have to take a gigantic risk to become successful. Unless it's something you're born into, or you know somebody who became successful so they help you out. Like, those exceptions aside, because that's what they are exceptions, right?
More or less, yeah.
If you want to become successful from the working class, you either have to kill yourself
or
for somebody else. Yeah, well, I mean, leaving that is not an option. You either have to kill yourself, or you have to take a giant risk, which risks your health, right? Because it's your well-being, it's your life that you're gambling with. Like, yeah, I could quit my job at Lowe's right now and start my own company. You're right, I could do that. I could apply for business loans until I finally get one and start a deli, right? Because that's like a dying profession, I feel like. If I don't turn a profit in the first 2 years, I go belly up. Now I'm in debt, and I don't have my job. Like, now did I try? Do I have that? Yes, but I also have the extreme weight of failure and piled up bills and all this debt. And now they got me even worse than I was before because I took a giant risk. It's a double-sided blade, man.
That's why I just don't think about it. Yeah, I just don't care. Fuck them. They get what they want. They get what they want, no matter what, no matter how hard we fight. So I go to work.
But I'm trying to get mine. Fuck what they get.
That's why you got them side hustles.
I mean,
shut up, Cat.
And, you know, it was all legitimate. I mean, as far as the work was, now getting paid under the table, that's a whole nother monster, right? Because that's tax-free income.
Yeah, tax-free unless you do a W-1014.
Well, if you
you got me.
Pay taxes on the income that you made,
right?
But you got paid under the table, so that's entirely like you as a person coming forward and giving Uncle Sam his piece.
Yeah.
There ain't a whole lot of people trying to do that these days. I'll tell you that right now.
Right.
There's people making enough money that they'll report their extra earnings just so that they don't have any trouble down the line. But then there's the desperate people, right? Like, I can't get diapers for my kids, or I can't seem to keep food in my fridge, or my car keeps breaking down, or I got medical bills out the roof. Like, you know, there's so many ways. Student loans, well, don't even get me started, everybody. I don't have to pay for their student loans. Well, it's taxpayer money, and the government decided to do that with it. You know, there's a lot of worse ways they could have spent the money. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, the fact that education in this country is free is terrible, and I get it. It's a socialist concept. So a lot of people are like, it shouldn't be free, because by paying so much money, right, our medicine progresses further. By paying our doctors more, that, and it convinces other good doctors from other countries to come over here because they can make a lot of money. The problem with that is those good doctors could be good doctors there and help the people who need it, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So again, it's a double-sided blade. Like, there's just so many loopholes and catch-22s and
yeah, too many conspiracies for me to keep up with. I'll just stick to my Freemason. I passed out the other day.
The big point I'm really trying to get by here is unity. You're not as divided as you think you are.
Oh yeah.
They want you that way, right? They want you divided.
Yeah, I already know. We was talking about that in Lodge the other day. Or not in Lodge, but before Lodge for my Freemason stuff.
I don't know. I believe in the people.
Yeah.
And that one day they will overcome.
Yeah, that's one of the beliefs of being a Freemason, is seeing a human being as a human being. Simple as that.
That's a big thing.
Yeah, it's a brotherly love. So as a Mason, I can be able to go across the country to another Mason Lodge and do a certain thing and show a certain sign or whatever, and without even being able to understand them, it's automatically brotherly love. That's what we're taught from the beginning of me starting all that stuff.
Language barriers is another big thing, and then there's the religious barriers. I believe, you know, my beliefs on religion. I feel like, to put it,
well, we're allowed to have.
Put it simply, it's like everybody got a broken piece of the mirror, right? And think they got the whole thing.
Right, I know.
I think
every time.
Just about every religion that exists, you know, pre 2020.
So, in this book I'm reading with studying more my Freemason Masonic stuff, is that anyone that believes in a deity can join to be a Freemason. Only atheists cannot, because you don't believe in anything, and as a Freemason you believe in a higher power. So we've had a Muslim one before, and dude, it's just so unique, you know. But you know, the golden law for every basic religion is the same. Jesus, do unto your neighbor as you would do unto yourself.
Just the name.
They're all yeah, you know, they're all said in a different way, but it's pretty much the same.
Yeah. Don't steal.
Like,
don't cheat.
The book I read, it read like 12 of them off. Well, just that one. Love your neighbor as you would love yourself, and it read that off in all like 12 other religions, and it was pretty much the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like a lot of people just want something to fight over.
Oh yeah, that's why. It's like he was hanging out in my argument last night, bro.
I mean, like, everybody is entitled to their opinion, right? But what they need to understand is
Alexa, shut off the alarm.
And you have
Alexa, shut it off. Sorry.
No, you're good. If you expect other people to respect your opinion, you need to respect theirs.
Yeah, simple as that. That's the problem with politicians now and politics, bro, is because you used to be able to go with your brother to freaking voting polls and vote on whoever you want and not talk about it. But nowadays, everyone wants to talk about, oh, I voted for this person because he did this, and this, and this. Who cares? Just vote for who you're supposed to vote for, and leave it at that. That's
commonly disliked opinion. I don't even vote.
I don't either.
Because one, I'm not entirely set up anyways.
I'm not educated enough to vote. That's what I say to a lot of people. Because I'm not.
Whoever they want to be president will be president, right?
Yeah.
Because the presidency is it's a figurehead at this point.
It cracks me up. Everyone's like, well, you gotta pick one of the lesser evils. I don't have to pick either of those evils.
I don't have to pick an evil. That's my right as an American citizen. I reserve my right to not vote. How about that?
For sure.
Sure. I'm not gonna, as South Park put it, I'm not gonna pick between a douche and a shit sandwich. Like,
right.
Give me something appetizing. How about that?
I know.
And, you know, I
turn. Go ahead.
A lot of people hate me for this too, but I voted for Gary Johnson. That's the last presidential election I voted in, right? And I voted third party, which everyone's like, oh, that's throwing your vote away. You're the reason so-and-so didn't win. You're the reason XYZ didn't win easier, blah, blah, blah. But here's my thing is, no, you're the reason why we still have a bad president. How about that? Because you could have voted for Gary Johnson, for example, somebody with a very decorated political past who has appealed to both Republicans and Democrats, who knows how to walk the line, right, and make everybody happy. He's done it everywhere he's went. He got blindsided in one interview about a country nobody knew about until he got called out for. Right? Like, it's stupid, and then people believe what the media is like, oh, well, he doesn't care about this country you never heard about, because he wasn't ready for this question the one time we blindsided him at lunch. Like, okay.
That's how much I don't know about politics, bro. I don't even know who the hell you're talking about.
Gary Johnson ran third party, I believe, Obama-Trump election. I believe. I could be wrong. It might have been...
I don't... Like I said, this is how much I care about politics.
No, because Obama... It was never Obama-Trump. It was Trump and Hillary?
Hillary,
Did she make it?
Yeah, it was her the first time.
Okay, so he was the third party because Trump and Obama never ran. Obama served all 8 years.
He served all 8 years. He was actually the president I voted for.
Sorry, that was just me conflating elections that I really had very little interest in because it was all hype. That's all it was. A lot of people liked Obama, a lot of people didn't. I think he did his best. I think he crossed a few lines he shouldn't have crossed.
He did what he had to do with what he was given at the time that Bush left.
Hey, well, and you know, Bush was dealing with or avoiding dealing with, however you choose to look at it. Well, no, not just that. What the last person left, and they were dealing with what the last person left.
Yeah.
You don't see the effects of somebody's presidency for years after they're president. You just don't see it, and that's one of the reasons why Obama was trying to extend president term limits, or the amount of term limits there, like increase the limit, whatever. He shouldn't have tried to do it because it made him look like a socialist dictator, which is what a lot of people were saying about him before. I never said that, outside of like making jokes, right?
Yeah, like I said, I just don't care.
I never believed that.
Until the government walks into my house and like puts a gun to my head.
I never cared about his birth certificate.
Alright, his
I didn't think he was the Antichrist. I think he was a guy who wanted to be president, and just, I don't think any president actually knows what they're signing up for, because it's not a job you could pay me any amount of money to do, and on top of that, they pay more running for president than they do making money as a president.
And you see how those motherfuckers look like when they first go into presidency, and then when they come out 8 years later or 4 years later, they just look old as shit, bro.
I mean, depending on if they did their job right, then yeah, they look old, but I mean, there's a lot of presidents in our history that didn't get to be as great as they could have been, right? They made accomplishments that made other people angry, and that got them terminated. Like, presidential assassinations is a thing in this country's history. It's happened a few times.
A few. Once in a theater, once on a road in the back of a car.
Well, and the whole JFK thing, like, that was something I looked into a lot, and I realized by the end of it that whoever did it, we'll never know. It's too long ago now, right?
Yeah.
And it's gotten to the point where it doesn't matter who did it. It just matters that it happened.
Oh my god.
I feel like that, the focus of that was lost behind the mystery to who.
Right.
When really we should have been looking at why.
Just like MLK, you know, he wasn't even president.
And when I say we, I don't mean the people trying to solve the case. They need to be looking at who. I'm saying we as a people need to be asking ourselves, why did that happen to such a great man?
Right. Someone that's in office is trying to do things.
He wasn't the puppet on the string, bro.
He was for the people, by the people.
And he was trying to help the people, and the people who control the people didn't like that. I believe 110% inside job. I mean,
I
but, well, it's just looking at our history, right? Like, we piled our entire naval forces in a shallow harbor that they, with one entrance, one exit.
Oh, you're talking about
and
Pearl
got
Harbor?
bombed.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yes.
That was just, I don't know.
We wanted an entry into the war. We had we were already involved in it. We also,
I don't know about that one.
I remember reading in my history books, and I know it's one side of the story, right? German U-boats, which were submarines, were taking out American ships.
Yeah, cruise ships.
And they said they were they said they were passenger ships.
That's what got us involved in World War I, because that's what they did.
Were they?
Yeah, the same reason why we got involved in World War I.
Was it just people? Or was it people with guns and ammo and food?
Prisoners, you know, yeah, right.
Well, I'm thinking more soldiers, right?
Like
to
supplies
aid
and stuff
the
like that.
allies. Yeah. Even if we weren't sending them our forces, we were trying to help them.
I don't know if the
ammo,
government was
food,
as
toilet
corrupt
paper.
back then, bro. It was still corrupt, not just not as corrupt as it
I
is
mean,
now.
but the whole country was built on corruption. That's kind of the American dream, if you think about it. Like rapists, murderers, thieves. These are the people who started this country. Like,
you make it sound so fun, bro.
I mean,
Hi, I'm American. I like to rape you. No,
I just say it how it is, brother. It's not about. It's taking. What's the word I'm looking for? For lack of a better word, I'm taking the bullshit out of it. All right.
Yeah.
No personal because
I
do
just
love
don't get
America.
involved in it.
I also know that America's not the greatest country in the world, and if you look at the numbers, it's right there in your face. We're not the best at anything anymore. We're the second or third best at a couple. But for the most part, we're near the bottom.
I just want to be able to live. That's what I'm fucking doing, racing my game before I have to go to work. Which is in like, I won't even be able to finish this race. I gotta be there at 2 o'clock, and I walk up there.
Sorry to get all philosophical and podcasty on you.
Oh, it's okay. I can get Masonic on you now.
It's just something that I think's worth talking about, and a lot of people don't because they're worried about sounding crazy. Here's the thing. I know I'm fucking crazy.
I know
That's
I'm crazy.
fine.
I just don't, like I said, I'm not educated enough and all that stuff to even care. So it took me everything I had to pass fucking government and econ in high school. So I was like, yep, fuck that. Y'all do what you want.
I paid enough attention until I saw the bullshit, right? And then I'm just like, yeah, I'm checking that.
Like I tell Amanda, unless it like super drastically, physically affects me in person, that very moment, I don't care.
I mean, it might not that very moment. That's the contingency.
But if it's like taxes and stuff, it does, but it doesn't. Because I don't see that stuff get taken out. I do, but I don't. Fuck it. Do what you want to do.
See it.
That's what I said. I see it too, but they're gonna do what they want, no matter what. So
why the fuck are they taking $30 more for this bullshit?
Right, they must be building a new street. Alexa, shut off the alarm. I got a bunch of alarms set because I fucking thought I was gonna be asleep today. I ain't gonna fucking shave. I shaved my beard off.
I think we can just wrap this up with a nice, easy. Everybody just needs to love everybody more.
Yeah, love your neighbor.
That it's, and you know, say that's beta male energy. Saying that is beta male energy to me is beta male energy. Like being able to recognize a problem and being able to come up with a solution.
You love a human being as a fucking human being, not fucking as a
You know,
fucking
it's just sensible.
property.
It has nothing to do with masculinity or gender. It's
oh my gosh, stupid term.
It's just the fact of the matter is the world is just so angry at itself, and it needs to not be.
Great work. That's a new fastest lap of the race.
Alright, fastest lap.
I love your planet too.
Yeah, you like my little thing there?
Call me a fucking tree hugger. I don't care. I ain't telling you to drive a Prius, but
Alright, take care of your shit. Because this is what we're going to be leaving for our children and our grandchildren.
who's that dude? Elon Musk said he was gonna give us free internet. I'm still waiting. You should have invested on that shit. Can you imagine investing in Tesla when it was still a small business?
No.
I can. I'd have a lot of money right now.
It's like Google, fucking shit like that.
Yeah.
Little
Hey,
fucking
if I'd have
closet-sized
been-
room sold to that company and boom, millions. Billions.
If I'd have been my age when Google was a thing, I'd have been like, yeah, I'm buying into that. My whole next check. Fuck rent. I'll live in my car for 2 weeks. I'm about to be a millionaire.
You're gonna be a millionaire.
But I knew, because you know, we're from the time when the internet was becoming
a thing.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
We grew up in that age where we had everything. Riding in the back of the truck, no cell phones, going camping, freaking playing on the street until the street lights come on. You know, playing with the yo-yo. I don't even think my kids know what a yo-yo is, bro. I know one thing. I know one thing. My fucking kids don't know how to do their damn chores, bro. They got grounded yesterday when I got home from work. I asked them 2 little things to do: pick up all the trash off the floor, and it was like paper, little pieces of paper, and then pick up all the cups off the table. I came home at 8 o'clock, 8 hours later, bro, and it was all still there. I was so disappointed and upset with my oldest daughter. I was like, you're 13 years old. There's no reason for you to act like this or not do what you were supposed to. Well, we got distracted. I said, on what? Your phones? I said, okay, here, give them to me. You're grounded from them for a whole week. I hope you enjoy that. Because this is not the first time me and Amanda's had issues with the girls freaking wanting to play on their phones instead of do what we asked them to do when we were gone.
Shoot, I play on my phone all the time.
I do too, but you know how to be responsible to go do the things your parents ask or things you know you have to get done in your own house. You know.
Yeah, my parents don't gotta ask me anymore. I just do them.
Yeah, exactly.
But that really does come with age. And like, how you're going about it is the exact right way. It's like, okay, if you can't do it,
because
of this, then I'm gonna take this away.
Yeah,
so,
and this is not the first time this has happened. This has happened almost every day this weekend. It happened freaking last weekend when they're here by themselves and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, there were more than 2 kids in my house always. And they weren't always kids.
13 and 11 now, you know, so.
That belong there. So.
It's time to freaking start doing your part.
Yeah, well, there was like a hierarchy, right? Because there was my oldest sister. She was always left in charge because she was the oldest. So,
right,
boom,
yeah.
you're the boss. Like, and with that came the responsibility of if you don't get all the little shit staggered right, then you're in trouble.
You're in trouble, yeah.
And we made it hard. I actually, when my sister Jamie was left in charge to look after me, all she wanted me to do was my chores, and I fucking ran. I made her chase me around the neighborhood. And she was pissed because she knew she was going to get in trouble.
That's hilarious. That is hilarious.
I've always been a little protester, though. I've never been to a protest, and I don't intend to. I don't like people enough for that. Sorry. I will fight for my cause from the comfort of my home. I'm able to do that.
Yeah,
anywhere
bad start.
A riot might break out, you probably won't find me. I'm the person instigating more people to show up to the riot, though. There's that.
Riot makers.
And that's why I keep telling everybody I'd make a good supervisor, but, you know, I'm really good at delegating responsibility. Time management, all that fun stuff.
All of it.
I mean, let's be real about it. What it takes to be a manager at a retail store is not a lot.
No, a couple of numbers problems and freaking organization.
It's mostly just promising corporate that
this is what you're gonna have done by the next time they come for inspection.
Right? Yeah.
Trust me, I know how it is.
And then you go and tell everybody else to get it ready. Like,
yeah.
And I know there's more. There's phone calls and emails and litigation and meetings and paperwork. But quit acting like that's just hard and not just tedious. Like, it's not hard. There's nothing complicated about what you do. Everybody know how to use a calculator. They got one on their phone.
They got one on their phone. And you got a watch. Your watch might have one too.
I'm saying, like, you could download a whole fucking scientific calculator, 80% of the functions you won't need, onto your phone for free right now.
I know.
So all you got to do is know how to talk to people, and I'm smooth with it.
Yeah, I'm really smooth with people. I forgot how good I was with people until I started this job up.
I know how to smile and wave. I also know how to walk away and not escalate a situation.
Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
Yeah.
I like getting the ones that are pissed off, fucking smiling.
Nobody put me in charge of the music to plays, because that might be a problem, but...
Okay, gap ahead is 9.6 seconds.
I just, you know...
Right.
How long do people have to complain about NSYNC and Backstreet Boys music? It was popular 20 years ago.
I dig me some Backstreet Boys, bro.
There was somebody talking about, it was a customer too, and it was like an older customer, and they were laughing at the song. It was probably, I don't remember what it was. They were laughing about, like, how old is this song? Why is this even playing? Like, they don't even like the music from back then. Like, put on some 50 Cent. What are you doing?
That's funny.
We're a candy shop.
Yeah, make her look at that lollipop.
Well, I know there's more, like, age-appropriate songs, but that's a song I like. I'd put it on the playlist.
Oops. Hi, fucking jackass.
I don't like a lot of new rap and R&B.
No, man, no. I don't have
Shit, I listen to the music my parents listen to. Who the fuck? I listen to 70s and 80s rock.
Same.
But I also listen to some really weird shit, so... I like MC Chris, for example. Nobody else seems to. Always exciting to meet an MC Chris fan. I like Blink-182. That's a big band for me.
Yeah, I haven't heard them in a while.
I actually, last time... I finally got to go to one of their concerts. They showed up at the rodeo here in Houston, but it's a different lead singer. It was the guy from Alkaline Trio, whatever his name is.
Yeah. Oh shit.
I think that's who it was. Alkaline Trio, Green Day, one of them. One of them other bands my sister listened to.
I gotta miss even say this so I can smoke before I go to work. Now I'm gonna keep trying to fucking.
But I finally got to see him in concert.